Okay, this is the first video in a series of videos for GRE math preparation. And I'm going to start off this first video by discussing percentages, because that will be covered on the GRE. And first, before doing this problem, which I have here, which is a practice problem, I'm just going to discuss percentages that you're likely to run into on the GRE. Two basic types of percentage problems. One of them is what I call the forward problem, and the other is called the backward problem. The forward problem is you're given a certain price, let's say, of an object, and then you need to calculate how much that is if you mark it up or down by a certain percent. Now the backward problem is a little harder. That's where you know the price of the object after it's been marked up or down by a certain percent. But now you want to find out what the original price is. So let's just give an example. Let's say you have a sweater, cost $100. That is before it gets marked up. But now it's going to get marked up by a certain percentage. Let's say it gets marked up by 25%. Let's multiply. 25%. If it gets marked up by 25%, I call that 1.25. That's the 1 is for the original price. The 0.25 is the extra amount that it's being marked up. 25% is 0.25 as a decimal. So that's why I did it. Now this comes out easy. That's just 125. This is the forward problem, and it's easy to do the forward problem usually. Now, if the object was marked down by 25%, then you multiply it by 1 minus 0.25. 1 minus 0.25 is 0.75. So sometimes, if it's a simple number, you could just write that down. If it's marked down by something like 23.5, then you might be better off writing 1 minus that. Okay, now this one is also pretty simple because it comes out to $75. The forward problem, you just have to basically multiply to get it. Now the backward problem, or the reverse problem, is harder than the forward problem. That's the one where someone says a sweater gets marked up by 25%, and then it costs $100. What was the price before it got marked up? Now that would, you'd have to say X is the price, then it gets marked up by 25%, then it costs $100. The key is to be able to turn the sentence into an equation using the equal sign, the unknown quantity, the markup, the final price. The sweater of unknown cost is marked up by 25%. Keep producing a final price of $100. Getting it into the equation, that's really the key. The algebra is not that hard. This gets moved down, 1.25 onto the other side. Cancel it on that side. X equals 100 divided by 1.25. You don't have to do that in your head, because that's simple to do in a calculator that you'll have on the GRE. 100 divided by 1.25. And that's equal to $80. Now you can almost check your work, in this case also, by taking the $80, multiplying it by 1.25, and that'll get you the 100. If you have enough time, you can go back and check it on something like this. That doesn't take a lot of time to check, so it's worth doing. Okay, now let's assume that you had a sweater, it got marked down by 25%, and its sale price was $100. This would be 0.75 for the markdown. What was the price before it got marked down? Here it's going to be $100 divided by 0.75. That one you also can do on your calculator without any trouble. 100 divided by 0.75. That's equal to 133.33 repeating. So it's not likely that that if it did get marked down by 25%, that you'd get a cost of $100 exactly, because the original price would have been a rather unusual number. Backward problem is more likely to produce this type of a thing, because when you divide it by it, it's harder to guess ahead of time to get numbers to work out evenly, like in the forward case. Okay, so those are your basic problems and how to approach them. Turn the sentence or the word problem into an equation. That is the most fundamental part. It takes practice, and that's why we're doing it. And here's this problem. If a sweater sells for $48 after a 25% markdown, what was its original price? Oh, okay, so a sweater sells for $48. So $48 is equal to the original price of the sweater times the markdown, the 25% markdown, or 1 minus 0.25. That's the 0.75 that I was talking about. So the x is equal to $48 divided by the 0.75. Now in this case, because it's on a test problem, it's going to come out, can't come out too complicated, because it's got to be one of these 5 answers. 64. X equals 64, and that's number C. Oh, what I was supposed to tell you is you're supposed to hit pause and do the problem yourself, which I didn't do now, so that's because I forgot. Okay, so what you should do is go through it again, change these numbers, and then just work the problem through to make sure you know how to do it. Okay? Okay, that's it for this video.